Good morning, folks. Welcome to our emerging feature group in Cluster API around managed Kubernetes. We are a subproject of SIG cluster Lifecycle, and as such, abide by the CNCF Code of Conduct when conducting public meetings. So please raise hands, use the raise hand feature in Zoom to participate verbally and be kind to one another and respectful, and let's move forward. So we had an informal discussion last week. Most folks were still, I think, either coming back from the break or not yet having returned from the break. So I went ahead and just overwrote that. I didn't record that meeting, but we had a nice sort of conversation with some folks. This week, I would love to make a little bit more progress toward determining maybe something concrete that we're going to produce collaboratively. So I don't have that on the agenda, but I'll add that to like. How about a proposal doc? Cool. So typically we'll follow the pattern of other weekly office hour discussions and invite any new folks to say hi and introduce yourselves for any reason whatsoever, who you work for, anything you'd like to share about your managed Kubernetes journey in a brief introductory moment. I'll stop and raise your hand and I'll call on you. Cool. I don't see any hands, so that's all good. So let me, I'll quickly just add, I'll skip around a little bit and I will add a brief note about Capseed's managed Kubernetes story. So we have been running in an experimental posture since, I don't know, 18 months or so ago. And I know that that's not a sort of formal definition in CAPI, but how it's worked for CapZ is that we have held our Azure Managed Cluster and Azure Managed Control Plane functionality behind a feature flag. And we have organized the code just literally in terms of how we manage the source in a directory that's sort of clearly marked as experimental. We've been using the V1 Beta 1 CAPI API version. So the API version isn't a sort of explicitly demoted version, but with the experimental posture that's behind that feature flag and in that source area and also documented as such, we've made it clear that the V1 Beta API version for these particular CRDs is subject to break at any time. And we have been working over the past several months to graduate past experimental and make a more durable API contract commitment with our users that we won't break at any time. So with that backstory out of the way, the status update is that CapC is going to release 1.7. The plan is to do that today. And then we are going to land the graduation, the necessary sort of code updates for graduation beyond experimental shortly after that, so sometime this week, which includes updates to documentation, and then we'll share that knowledge sort of in Slack and to the community as appropriate, and then ship a graduated implementation with no feature flag protection with 1.8 in a couple months. So that's a quick update for CapZ. Again, for folks who don't already, I know there's some folks I see who know the details. CapZ is using a pattern of these CRDs that I expect will change as an outcome of these discussions that we have. So this is a really big win for our managed Kubernetes users, until we formalize something in this feature group, and then we annoy all of our users again in 18 months or so when we force them to change to a V2 or something like that, but still a big deal. Rich, I see that you are adding a CapG implementation, so I'll just defer the mic to you for a quick update.
So the first of the 6 PRs that is adding GKE to the CapG provider is merged in. well, that's the proposal, and then the initial bootstrapping, but all of the other PRs are all stacked up. So probably within the next week or two, CapG will have GKE support actually in there, so all the work is done. Just getting the reviews in so that we can get everything merged in, which is good.
Really good. Great progress. And I'm sure that this is, I can maybe speak for you. Can I just set out a call for participation if anyone wants to step in? As far as I know, it's largely yourself who's working on this. So
Actually, Richard Chen as
oh, great.
me and Richard Chen. So he has done most of the work, which is good because
Great. I'm really happy.
Yeah,
happy to hear that. Okay, great. I'm going to add one more agenda item in real time here. I want to invite anyone to share your managed case journey, Cappy. So we'll do that when we have some time in a few minutes. The first thing I wanted to do concretely is get closer towards an actual proposal doc where we can start making asynchronous progress. So we don't have to just have these real-time discussions once a week. So I might just do this in real time. Let me see if I can find a proposal that I can copy paste. Does anyone have any objections to a Google Doc that originates in someone's personal Gmail account? Do we want more formality? That's cool. All right. Let's just see. I'm scrolling through the CAPI history. Here we go. And maybe I will looking for a Google Doc proposal. A lot of the proposals are in PRs. I think Google Docs is probably more rapid for this. Let's see. Feel free to skip 30 seconds ahead if you're watching on YouTube 2 weeks from now or something. And if anyone has a proposal, we can copy paste. That would be fine. Why can't I?
Would it would it be worth copying the original Google Doc for the managed proposal so that at least we can?
Yeah, I'm looking for anything. I'm just struggling with the.
I will try to find the.
See here. Show chat. First to paste a good enough Google Doc wins. This, yeah, I think Winnie and I just found it at the same time. Awesome. So let's do this. I will paste that here. Can folks see that?
Yep.
All right, great. So let's take a new document. And let's see, what's this one called? Manage Kubernetes and CAPI. Is this a live doc, or this was the background to the PR that landed in August? Yep, great, cool. So you've already used the most canonical title possible. So let's see here. Let's call this CAPI native. I'm not sure. Anyone, this is going to be a public doc, so anyone can update this. And let me clarify that actually right now by does anyone have any objections to shipping with this initial title? Cool. Okay, so that.
Do you want it to be or change it to edit?
Oh yes, thank you.
In fact, I'd do add the SIG cluster lifecycle as the editor and keep anyone with the link as the viewer.
All right, so SIG.
Or did it? I think it might be called something slightly different. So yeah, I know.
So I think SIG. Well, let me copy paste this. Oh, good Lord, come on. Kubernetes SIG cluster life. Is that how it works? At googlegroups.com. Let's try that. Yes, thank you for auto-completing Google. All right, great. Do we want to skip the notification? Oh, I'll keep the notification. All right. So did I just, is that not there? How do I stack these things? Goodness. So happy this is being recorded. Okay, I'm going to skip this. So it looks like we kind of do this one at a time. All right, so SIG cluster lifecycle is editor. So anyone on the meeting who's not a member of that Google group, please go add that. I'm sure we can help you in chat or on Slack. And here's a link, which I will now add back to here. Okay, so that's some concrete progress. Well done, everyone, for your patience. And maybe we can do a little bit of this boilerplate. This is good for now. Okay, so right now we'll just move this forward. Copy native managed Kubernetes. All right. Anyone here who would like to be I'll leave this blank for now, formally recognized as an author. I'm going to put you two, Richard and Winnie, on the spot. You're definitely grandfathering whether you want to or not. Put myself here. Anyone else want to raise hand or gesture? Otherwise, I'll put you here. Otherwise, actually, why don't we just do this? If you plan on actively contributing, just make sure you're a part of SIG cluster lifecycle and hop into this doc. My OCD is going to go nuts if I don't change that to that. There we go. Control Z. All right, cool. I think I will leave it here for now. I don't think we're going to create a managed Kubernetes proposal for CAPI in 13 minutes. And I feel great about that. That's progress. We have a doc. That's a nice reminder for me to make progress. I'll keep this in a tab so I can do any copy pasta. Actually, right now, I think I will, in fact, say, note, this is a continuation from that. So let's definitely reference that document, first of all. Okay, cool. So we are 13 minutes before Yuvraj takes over. I would love to invite folks. I don't see anyone else adding to the agenda item. So I'd love to invite anyone who wants to just take advantage of the fact that we have 8 or 9 or so managed Kubernetes inside baseball people. If you want to get our ears and share your Kubernetes journeys. If that's not really on the agenda for today, then I'd say we can take our time back and we'll see most of you in 45 minutes or so. Does anyone want to chat a little bit about your particular managed Kate story? Okay. I think we're good. Thanks everybody for coming. We've got a Google Doc. We will make progress next week. I like this light touch in terms of time, so we'll try to keep them super simple and just kind of make it like really in office hours where, you know, there's some expected community of folks in case you have anything you'd like to talk about in real time. Otherwise, go back to our busy lives. All right. See a lot of you in a bit.
See you.
Yeah.